buy panic and sell hysteria. Today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite investors and minds on the financial world. That is Jim Rogers. That, in case you don't know, Jim Rogers is actually one of the most notorious investors all time, not only regarding his success as an investor, but also he's a very popular character with a very fun personality. He's not only a very successful investor, but also has a magnetic personality. Many people that have met him knows this. And Jim Rogers, he's famous for creating the quantum fund with his partner George Soros. I'm not gonna talk about George Soros. I know that most of you don't like him, but anyways, nothing. I'm not gonna mention anything about George Soros. So we're gonna stick with Jim. Jim is an excellent guy. Actually, he traveled all over the world, first with his bike and then on a Mercedes, and right now he lives in Singapore. Not also, he's one of the most accomplished investors all the time, but he's also a very sweet guy, a very wise man that you want to hear every now and then. One of the things that I like the most about Jim Rogers and his mindset is how simple it is. He doesn't complicate things. He likes, his strategies, keep it simple, stupid, something like that. And I love that fact about him, how simple is his train of thought. And something he mentions all the time is regarding trading and investing is that, this is my favorite phrase from him, is that you have to buy panic and sell hysteria. On the meantime, you sit down and do nothing. And by the way, this particular video and this particular sentence, this particular motto, is not just about investing, it's about overall. Every time you use your resources, your time, your money, your energy, it should be applied this particular principle that is very simple to apply. Just buy when everyone, usually I'm a contrarian myself, and most of the greatest investors all over the world and in history, they are contrarians as well, because they do what most people are not doing at that particular time. Usually, when you want to buy an asset or do an investing, by the way, this is not just an investing video. This is just a philosophical video. Keep that in mind. Okay, when you have something that is, let's say, cheap because everyone is talking bad about it, the news, the narrative, that kind of thing, what you want is, of course, back then, you start speculating a little bit. Just a position that is not going to kill you. Just wait for a while. After that, wait for a while. And then when everyone is on the hype, oh, this particular asset, this particular company, this particular stock is doing great, that's when you have to sell. Actually, Warren Buffett says something about you make the money not when you buy or when you sell. It's on the waiting. In the waiting is the most difficult part. And that's what I like about it. Because first, what I like to do, in order, just keep my, food for thought, is that I see what most people do, and usually they are mistaken. Usually the masses are mistaken. Also, there is another saying in economics, this comes from John Maynard Keynes, that I'm not a fan of Keynes, but, this particular saying is very accurate, that markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So, of course, you have to lay out your particular decision and position regarding everything in life, especially where you put your resources. That is not only about money or investing and that kind of thing. Well, anyways, and afterwards, you have to, after the waiting, so the waiting is one of the most important things. So because this is, and Jim Rogers speaks about it, is that the waiting is usually the most difficult part, because you have to sit down and do nothing. And for many people, especially the doers, are the ones that want to do something about it. Most of the time, you just have to do nothing about it. Now, here comes the most strange part, is the hysteria. What to do when you reach the hysteria part. And what's hysteria? It's basically what everyone is on the FOMO, is crazy about it, is doing their own thing, and you know what, and that kind of thing. So that's the moment when you need to be, ice cold and know that it's time to sell, it's time to short, it's time to get rid of any position. The main conclusion is that we're going to talk for both investing and also trading. Let's go with investing. Most of the time, the good things, the valuable things are the things that are not shiny, are not pretty, and many times people are talking against it. So you have to, that's kind of a contrarian indicator, how people are talking about any particular situation, any particular asset, any particular business, and so on and so on and so on. And of course, sometimes the narrative is right, sometimes. But most of the time, and this comes from Jim Rogers, the markets are irrational. That's one thing. And that's regarding investing, by the way. Now, regarding dating, how do you apply this using dating? Well, very simple. You buy panic and short hysteria. And we already discussed how it works regarding the attention. Right now, the male attention is on hyperinflation. So what do you do when do you have a hyperinflated currency? Get rid of it quickly, short the currency, and rotate towards something that has long time store of value, like gold, like Bitcoin, something like that, real estate. I mean, of course, I'm not going to get the gold and Bitcoin debate today. Please bear with me. Okay. Many times, you see, for instance, now let's go with the dating side of this particular video. Is you see, for instance, many shows, TV shows and podcasts and that kind of thing regarding dating, like, for instance, Fresh and Fit and whatever podcast, and they have these irrational standards, the women on those shows, that men have to be a millionaire and tall and very good looking, and by statistically speaking, that is impossible. Actually, that's one of the running jokes about those shows. Anyways, and of course, that's hysteria. That's dating market hysteria. And that's why you need to short that particular dating market. And how do you short that particular market, those particular markets? Well, very easy. Retract attention is hyperinflated, so you need to just change it and rotate it to something that is more valuable. That could be skills, could be assets, whatever might be the case. Very good. Remember, you have to work with your TME, your time, money, and energy. Afterwards, the dating has to come with yourself, because when you have the assets and you have the value, that's when your particular hard currency, let's call it like that, is going to attract value and value and value and value when you are on the right market. And so applying the Jim Rogers logic, what I will do is, that's actually what I do, is basically buy panic that I'm not seeing panic on the market right now, especially, on the dating market. And what I'm seeing is hysteria. So I will do, like Gordon Gekko like used to say, I will pick the dog with the less fleas. Let's call it like that. And on that particular dog, on that particular market, that's what I start to maybe build up a position. Because if you are on a terrible market and if your native tongue, your native language is English, most likely you are on a terrible market already. It is what it is. So what I will do is start shorting that particular market that you have, because most likely is awful, and start looking other regional markets or near shoring, let's call it like that. And afterwards, maybe reinvest on such markets. And by the end, just when it reaches levels of hysteria, just liquidate your position and place a put option on such market.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.